One more time, how about a big round of applause for all the competitive dancers out there and all you guys coming on strong. Nicely done. All the way from Florida. God love you. Thank you. Oh, I don't think we can do that. Earlier today, we had a bunch of kids on the dance floor. How many of them want to do one called the bird dance? If you want to do the bird dance, send them on the floor.
Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Bird dance, go, go.
That's right, my bad. All the adults can do too. You go ahead, Nicole. You go on with your bad self. No, all the adults and children. All right, you guys know how to do it? Do we have to get a circle going? Is that how it's traditionally done? Yes, if we can get a big circle going, facing inward. There's only a couple moves. Look at all this empty space here. We need some more dancers on the dance floor. There you go, Basha. Go around and get some more dancers. Jerry, come on, baby. Come on, get on the dance floor, man. There you go. Linda, on the dance floor. Come on, the kids need some inspiration. Come on, Basha's going, Bob's going, Ryan's going out there. Robin's going to come out onto the dance floor. Larry's going to be on the dance floor. All right, we're going to get started. When you feel comfortable, just jump right in there. There are very few things you can do that most people will say were wrong in this song. So just have some fun and follow along. Here we go. Here we go. We're going to pick the tempo up a little bit now. All right, a little bit left. Here we go, a little faster. for you right now. All righty. I'll tell you what we're going to do right now. We're going to get Nicole, leave her on the dance floor, and she's going to grab Michael. And we're going to do a song that it reminds me, as we said, we're here celebrating not only St. Stan's Festival, but also the anniversary of Nicole and Michael. So we're going to do one called The Bridal Dance Polka. There you go.
Hi out there, Kathy Okrashinsky.
Everyone else can dance as well.
Up there in Colony, New York. I saw your sister was online the last set. And we're in Cleveland, Ohio, me and Jerry. And this is the St. Stan's Parish celebrating 150 years. It's their Jubilee anniversary and their annual Polish Fest. Hope you're having a great weekend, Kathy.
Everyone else on the dance floor. We get a big circle around the couple. All right, we're all from Central Ohio, Western Pennsylvania. Everybody close in nice and easy on the couple.
Kambanovich. Glad you could join us. Two Tones are playing the bridal dance for an anniversary for a happy couple that was just out there on the floor for a while. The bride is still out there.
Polish wedding. You got $1 or $2 in your pocket. Come on out and dance with Nicole. That's right, Larry. Get out here, pull some money, dance with Nicole. Doing a fundraiser for St. Stanislaus. Or you can dance with anyone you want, just donate money. Give it to Basha and Bob. Raise your hand. Walk around and beg for money. Nicely done, Nicole. Keep it going, keep it going. There we go. Remember, all the proceeds go to St. Stan's Church. big round of applause for Nicole, Michael, Manisha, doing those dances, saving money for St. Stanislaus. Great job, ladies. Michael, great job. All right, let me do a time check here.
Well, we just got through with a little bit of a rendition of the bridal dance. And there was a happy anniversary to a couple here. Nicole and Michael Marcelino, I believe. And then they did the bridal dance. And basically, for those of you just tuning in, you can catch the whole bridal dance on the replay. And John Subject, I see you're back online here with us from Florida. And to you and your family, I hope you have a very nice weekend coming up. Jerry and I are going to be here. Besides tonight, we're going to be here tomorrow for Podphonic and Zosha and the Polka Pounders, as well as Sunday when they have a group here from local Cleveland musicians that go by the name Ja Bums. And Chris Ebel, glad to see you back joining us here online out there in Minnesota. And again, I hope you'll have a great weekend and a polka nice one at that. Not sure if you're playing with any groups.
All right, we're going to slow things down a little bit.
If you are playing,
some of our friends out there who
have a great time.
Polkas, waltzes, or romantics. A chance to sing or rather dance a song or two.
We're going to switch to a couple of slow ones, it looks like. Richie Zabrowski's got the guitar.
That gentleman right there with the...
Nice crowd tonight here. It's dwindled down a little bit, but for the most part, it was very crowded here. And if you were getting food downstairs, there was a line out the door and down the street. People were waiting on to get food, I guess, to bring back home. Very interesting how the wait probably for food could have been as long as 40 minutes or 45. Well, Jerry and I went downstairs about 8 o'clock and there was no line, which was great.
After all these years together, look at us. After all that we've been through, look at us, still leaning on each other. And if you want to see how true love should be, then just look it up. Look at you, still pretty as a picture. Look at me, still crazy over you. Look at us, still believing in forever. And if you want to see how true love should be, then just look at us. In 100 years from now, I don't know if I and wonder how we made it over now. Chances are that we'll go down in history. And if you want to see how true love's me, then just look it up. After all these years together, look at us. After all that we've been through, look at us. Still believing in each other. If you want to see how true love me, then just look it up. And if you want to see how true love should be, then just look it up. Yes, if you want to see how true love should be, then just look it up.
Barb Mack, I see you're back here with us, and thanks for sticking around and joining us out while we're out here in Cleveland. Do a little change in tempo here by Stacy and the New Tones. Accordionist Richie Zabrowski playing the guitar, and the concertina player Dave Morris is on the keyboards. And Frankie Lishka is on the bass, along with Stacy Morris.
Hey folks, by the way,
on the drums.
We had music all the way until 10 o'clock tonight, and we messed up our break, so we're just going to keep playing straight through.
Richie Coy,
So
see you back online again, and good seeing you back here with us. Having a good time here in Cleveland at the St. Stan's Polish Festival, celebrating their 150th Jubilee anniversary of the church. Paula Karnkiewicz down there in the Reading area. Paula, good seeing you online. Glad you could join us here. Glad you could see. Glad you could be here joining us online as we continue the music here of Stacy Morris and the New Tones.
You guys do a great job rapping.
Hi. How you doing?
This song break my heart. Let's get back to the building.
Enjoy the weekend and have a Polka night one at that. This is a 3-day festival here in Cleveland. tonight's band is the New Tones with Stacy Morris. And tomorrow they're going to have a band from Michigan here, Ponfronics, Usher, and the Polka Towners. And on Sunday afternoon, a group of local flavor musicians will be playing together in a group that they refer to as Jump-Ups.
Stacey on the vocal for you. One called Unchained Melody. All righty. Alrighty, I know that a couple of days ago we celebrated the beginning of National Hispanic Month. So we're going to do a song right now. We want everybody to get on your feet just for a moment here. We're going to get things going up on the bandstand. A little bit of one called La Bamba. Here we go. music so we can finish off. And thank you, dancers. You're livening the place up. Good job. Earlier today, we announced that a bunch of our friends from the United States Polka Association are here. I think we got a couple still here. How about a big round of applause for the USPA, United States Polka Association? We also want to give a shout out to the Cleveland Polka Association, CPA. Both of those organizations do a great job keeping polka music alive, not only here in Ohio, but they sponsor a lot of stuff that just continues throughout the whole country. A lot of musicians, myself included, and all the members of the band are very grateful for all the work that they all do. So we're going to do a song now that we debuted years ago in the lounge at the USPA, featuring Vicky and Tammy on the vocal. One called Mama's Broken Heart.
Don't know what I get next, all I know my goodness. We're not around to fall apart in the battles. I'm on the phone, started ringing off the phone. I can hear her now saying she ain't gonna have it, no matter how you feel. It only matters how you're going. Showing up, girl, it's just a breath of running. I go crazy and start acting like a lady, 'cause I'm raised together, got a beat together, even when we fall apart. See my mama's broken heart.
one more song with the guitar and I'm going to put it away for the night. Anybody out there ever hear of a gentleman called Johnny Cash? We're going to do his signature song, one called Ring of Fire.
Some more traditional polka music to finish out the evening. Don't forget, we're going to be here all the way until 10 o'clock. If you have not had a chance to visit one of the vendor booths, please do that before you go home. Also, if you hadn't had a chance to go to the bar, do that right away. And I'm not sure what's going on downstairs with the kitchen. But please come back tomorrow and Sunday. So they've got 2 more days of great polka entertainment up here. So please stick around and come back the next couple days.
I'm Bernie. You ready? Okay, let's do it.
While they get set up.
All right, we also want to announce real quick that the USPA Polka Extravaganza will be coming up on November 4th in Middleburg Heights, Ohio, at the Crown Plaza, featuring 2 of your favorite bands all the way from Connecticut, the Polka Country Musicians, soon to get a new transmission, and from Buffalo, New York, 7. That's coming up on November 4th at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Middleburg and Heights. Polka Country Musicians, they'll be there. We have to go pick them up in 7, so there you go.
said it was a holiday year. We could fly
Tomorrow's entertainment's going to be by Bonfronic, Zusha, and the Polka Towners from Michigan. That should be a nice treat for tomorrow.
All right, apparently
tomorrow
listen to a
evening.
song that we put together years ago.
And for those of you that are just tuning in,
And you know, as times
the
have
new tones
changed, a
are
lot
on
of
the
the
stage
Polish
here.
and Slovenian music is
Stacey
starting to go
Morrison,
back and forth, which is a wonderful thing.
Morrison,
That's a
the new
great thing to
tones.
happen. Anything we can do to keep folk
see,
music
Bob
going.
Zaharsky's
So we put
watching.
together a medley of tune years ago.
Thanks
So
for
we hope
joining
that
us, Bob. Hope
almost
you and your
everyone
family
is
will
on.
have
I
a
bet you as we
Polka
look around the
nice
hall after
weekend.
doing it, most of you are going to know the words and sing these songs.
Also, Johnny
But if
Nico's
nothing else, we
here
would just invite you to have
from the
a good
Cleveland
time
area.
as we do a medley of our most
We're
requested
here at
songs.
St. Stan's, joining Stacey and the New Tones, and LRG's accordionist is up there, and a little bit of the future of Blue Magic. Hope you're having a Polka great weekend coming up, John. Hope to see you again on the Polka Road.
Heaven there is no end. That's why we drink it here. And when we're done from here, our friends will be drinking all the beer. Everybody join in. La 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 la. 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 All right. I know you know the words to this one. Join me and sing along. Roll out the barrel. Roll out the barrel. We'll have a barrel of fun, fun, fun. Roll out the barrel. We've got the blues on the run. Sing, move to the barrel. Sing out a song of good cheer. Now the time to roll the barrel. Though the game's all here. Here we go. Just because you think you're so pretty, just because you think you're so hot, just because you think you got something that nobody else has got. You went and you spent all my money out, clapping on the old Santa Claus. Well, I'm telling you, baby, I'm doing you because, oh, just because. Oh, Juliana, she's a cutie, what a cutie, that's my Juliana. She's a cutie, what a cutie, that's my Juliana. Juliana, Juliana, she's a cutie, what a cutie, that's my Juliana. She's a cutie, what a cutie, that's my Juliana.
stole a kishka. Someone stole a kishka. Someone stole a kishka from the butcher shop. Hey, who stole a kishka? Who stole a kishka? Who stole a kishka? Well, won't you bring it back? Well, you can have my shika, take my fine kielbasa. I don't care much about pierogi, but bring me back my kishka. Who stole the kishka? Who stole the kishka? Who stole the kishka? Someone call the cops! Larry stole the kishka. Chile, Maladane Saki, Oyaha, dos pojito matki, Shia, ona jest stała, Boży rączki podpiecina, Panu nie dała. The old man, she ain't what she used to be, ain't what she used to be, ain't what she used to be. The old man, she ain't what she used to be, many long years ago. The old man, she ain't got it now, ain't got it now, ain't got it now. The old man, she ain't got it now, like she used to have. Oh, if you get, tak się moje koleja, wiele mi siedział, gdzieś pada, na podwórzu jest nisko i wróciła się baba, pokazała ścisko. Now we're getting close, not there yet. She told me she loved me, but oh how she lied, oh how she lied, oh how she lied. She told me she loved me, but oh how she lied, oh how she lied to me. You are my baby doll, you are my baby doll. Don't you leave me, oh baby doll, you're my sweetheart now. You are my baby doll, you are my baby doll. Don't you leave me, oh baby doll, you're my sweetheart now. We're getting real close now. Everybody knows the words to this one. We're going to make it real quiet up here so we can hear everyone up there. E-I-E-I-E-I-O, E-I-E-I-E-I-O, oh, let's go. Songs before we started. Yes, you did. Great job.
I want to say hi to two people that are here on board with us this evening. Frank Stetter from the Mon Valley Push
We got time to
out
do
there in
one or two
Western
songs before we say
PA.
goodnight.
Want to say hi to you, Frank, and the rest of your family, and hope you're going to have a Polka Nice weekend, as we are here up in Cleveland for the St. Stan's Parish Festival, celebrating their Jubilee anniversary of 150
Here we go.
years.
Polka time once again. This one's
Our
called.
buddy Christine Kapanovsky. Hello, Christine. Glad to hear and see you on board here with us.
Before we do that,
Albeit, it looks like
did
this
everybody
band,
have a good time
one
this
last
evening?
song coming up. And the new
Thank you
towns
so
are
much for
sounding
inviting me
great.
back here. It's been a couple
Yes,
years
in
since we
fact,
had the opportunity
Christine.
to play. Our schedule
We
was
really
busy,
enjoyed them.
but we are so
Our
happy. We love
first
you.
time that we've heard them
We are so
up
happy
front
to be here.
and live.
We're so happy to see the festival continuing strong. So big round of applause for Larry and all of the crew that does all this stuff to get things going all year long. We hope that you stick around for tomorrow and Sunday and just keep polka music going. Thank you.
Yeah, it's going to be a great weekend. Pontonic session of Polka Towners tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. I almost forgot to announce that. Don't forget, the Polka Bumps will be here Sunday. Yes. And I'm so sorry, I forgot about that. Mark, you know, if you're not sure what you're doing for the weekend, the website is available, or Don can he'll probably pick you up and bring you here, right? Give you a ride. I'm not sure if he's willing to do that, but more than likely. Yeah, maybe. Melinda will do it. Anyway, the Polka Bumps will be appearing here on Sunday, and don't forget, tomorrow night will be Pontfronic, all the way from Muskegon, Michigan. So come back tomorrow and Sunday. Here we go, Polka time to finish off the last couple of songs.
Baby,
right, real quick, I'd like to introduce all the members of the band to you. I'm going to start over here on my far left. On bass guitar, you've seen him living around Cleveland area for the last couple of years. Now resides in Western Pennsylvania. IPA Hall of Famer, folks. He's been with the Brass Connection and most recently with The Boys. And next year, look out, because Blue Magic is coming down the road. How about a big round of applause for Mr. Frank Leishkop? There you go. Well, keep your eye on him. Keep your eye on him. He's got a lot coming up. Next to him on concertina, and every once in a while he has some vocals with us. Tonight we just didn't even set up the microphone. Sorry about that, Dave. You also seen him perform most recently with the Boys from Baltimore. Also made his fame with the Sounds from Western Pennsylvania. Currently he's our concertina player from the New Tones. From Monongahela, Charleroi area of Pennsylvania, would you please give a big round of applause for Mr. Dave Morris. We're going to jump on the other side of the stage right now. On trumpet and vocals, she has been one of the original members of the band back 39 years ago, is that right? 39 years ago. She's from a little town called Claysville, Pennsylvania. On trumpet and vocals, how about a big round of applause for Tammy Spalding? And next to her on trumpet and vocals, she's also one of those original members of the band from 39 years ago. Close enough. Close enough. Her father, Larry Mattis, was the originator of the New Tones, and we are celebrating his birthday today. So he left us a little while ago, earlier this year, but he started the band and we're continuing the tradition. How about a round of applause for Vicky Zabrowski? And back on drums, she's the leader of the New Tones. She's also a daughter of the originator of the band, Larry's other daughter. And she's the boss, she is the leader. She's the multi-winning vocalist from both the United States Polka Association and the International Polka Association. How about a big round of applause on drums and vocals, Stacey Morris. And most recently, you've also seen her performing and recording with The Boys.
And last but not least, our MC, accordion player, and today guitar player.
Just learned it this morning.
Yeah, right here from Cleveland, Ohio, Richard Zabrowski.
That's right, folks. I originally grew up in the area. For those of you that have been in the polkas for many, many years, you may or may not remember my dad, A.W. Zabrowski. Yes. Who, by the way, I'd love to say this. A year ago in Labor Day weekend, he was inducted into the International Polka Association Hall of Fame. All right, folks, we had a great time. If you can't tell by the looks on all of our faces, we had so much fun. I don't know what else we can do except get naked. But that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So we're going to do one more polka before we say goodnight. And remember, please come back tomorrow and Sunday for a lot more entertainment. Larry, thank you so much for inviting the band back. We hope we did everything you wanted us to do. Thank you so much. And don't forget, Larry stole the key scarf. All right, here we go. Polka time, one more song. What called?
Before we get to sign off, I'm going to say hello out there to Dave Zabrowski out there in Western PA, part of the Ray J and the Carousel band. Hope you and the family are going to have a polka nice weekend. We certainly will, because we're going to be here all 3 days here in Cleveland.
I just want to hear a song from you. Play me a song that makes the people cry. Or play me a song just to make the time go by. Any way you play it, any way you sing it, I just want to hear a song from you.
Road. Good night, everybody. Good night, everyone. We'll see you. Take care. Bye-bye. Be safe going home. And more importantly, thank you, everyone, for coming out. Tell the friends that were here as well. Thank you for being here. Hope to see you soon.
Well, that's all she wrote for tonight, folks. And those of you that tuned in and want to catch the entire segment with Stacy and the New Tones, you can go back to the archives and catch it. Dale Voidilla, thanks for joining us. Unfortunately, the New Tones just wrapped up. But when I finish up and put the
if you'd like to grab a seat
video,
before you go home, we have them available at the dance stand.
when I get
Only $10 a piece.
and
So
put the
CDs
video in the
available.
archives, you can watch the entire set. And we'll catch you also on the Polka Road, Dale Wardella. Hopefully at some point with the Costino All-Stars. Well, anyway, good night, folks, from Cleveland. We'll be back on Facebook Live, Lord willing, tomorrow when Podfronic Zusha and the Polka Towners will be playing here at St. Stan's Parish Festival, Polish Festival here in Cleveland, Ohio, celebrating their jubilee of 150 years here. Have a great evening, folks.